That was the thing there. I mean, it was one of the better AEW shows overall, just for all the shock, the great crowd, the surprises, Punk's match. But there's Punk's match was so different because it was the only wrestling match they had. And
well, to an extent, although I expressed my problems with various things, I think Jericho and MJF actually would classify.
Well, all right. I shouldn't say that. Jericho and MJF was a wrestling match. It was just one guy was in quicksand.
Yeah.
But, okay, a high-level wrestling match, that's different now on their shows because everybody else does the same shit. So if they could actually get some guys, and they've got a few here now, that can work and have these matches, then if they allow them to have wrestling matches instead of the stunt shows, then that'll up the quality of the program. But then here's the thing. I don't know who will see through who. Will any fans that Adam Cole and CM Punk and Bryan Danielson brings to this show, will they enjoy the matches that these guys are having? And will they see through the performances of the rest of the indie talent on the card? Or because the indie fans that like that indie talent were there first and make up the majority of this fan base, will they not get into the actual professional matches that the new talent has and think that they're slow and dull? So which side's going to see through who first?
Without it happening yet, knowing some of the people there, you are going to hear people complaining about the slower style of the guys that come out of WWE, whether it's fair or not. You will hear that. But we've talked about it with the CM Punk segment. That was a great segment. What's before it and after it is part of the problem. This may have been their best pay-per-view. And it had such excitement, and people now are really looking forward to seeing what's next. People are looking forward to see what's next with Punk, with Bryan Danielson. I mean, there's so many question marks coming out of it. The momentum we talked about AEW having a few weeks ago, it feels like it's only gone up.
Oh, it's yes. And I mean, it's almost like Vince is unaware.
Is he alive? Is Vince alive? Has anyone seen a breathing Vince McMahon?
Vince McMahon, unbeknownst to himself, is taking a dive in this thing. He doesn't even realize it, that he's handing it over to him. This is not like 20 whatever years ago with WCW, which was, they got a few jumps at the start on people just because Vince hadn't had his contract situation ducks in a row because he had never needed to. So nobody wanted to go the other way. But that was a dogfight. This is just, he's being pummeled by self-inflicted wounds and letting people go and allowing them to show up there and doing a boring, crummy, nonsensical, juvenile program. And the one that was a little bit different than that, NXT, he's fixing to take that over and make that boring, juvenile, and simple as well.
And the guy who was one of the top stars, if not the top star there, is now on the other show on Wednesday nights.
There you go.
So
a couple.
But if you were watching that show from the beginning on Wednesday nights and Adam Cole was one of the main people, and all of a sudden the show's not on Wednesday nights, but Adam Cole still is. But I want to ask you some more follow-up questions about the pay-per-view and AEW and WWE and what's happening. But you mentioned Omega's hair earlier, and I had to bring this up.
Yeah.
Because it was jet black the other day. This time it was jet black with blue streaks. There was some of the Giuliani dye drip I noticed as he was walking to the ring. He's lucky he's able to dye his hair. But I think maybe because of all those chemicals and everything he's putting in his hair, pretty soon Kenny may have to worry about keeping his hair.
Well, that's the thing. I'll tell you what, because, you do a lot of damage to your hair when you're constantly changing the color like that, especially when you're using, that paint from Earl Scheib that he's using. But you don't have to damage your hair, folks. You can keep your hair. Because if you go to the folks at Keeps, then they will show you and tell you and aid you in keeping your hair. Everybody, all men at one time or another stress about hair loss, and there's a large percentage of us will have the male pattern baldness and et cetera, et cetera. However, If you start with the folks at Keeps, you can not only keep the hair you've got on your head, but you can even stimulate some that has taken a bow and left the building to come on back in for a second round. Keeps offers a simple, stress-free way to keep your hair so you won't be pulling it out. They've got convenient virtual doctor consultations, medications delivered straight to your door every 3 months so you don't have to leave your home, and treatments start at just $10 a month because they offer generic versions of all of the well-known hair prevention products. They've got discreet packaging and proven results. That's easy for me to say, but they do, and it works. They've got more 5-star reviews than any of their competitors. But folks, prevention is the key. Treatments can take 4 to 6 months to see results, so act fast. And right now, if you're ready to take action and prevent hair loss, go to Keeps, Keeps, Keeps.com/JCE to get your first month of treatment for free. That's Keeps.com/JCE. First month free for our folks, because we want to see you guys happy and hairy instead of bitchy and bald.